Hello everyone. So we were discussing about AutoCAD past few cycles. So after learning AutoCAD, what do? We have to prepare plan of certain constructions. Okay, we were going to construct a building. We have to prepare a detailed plan, and AutoCAD helps us to do that. So here we are with a plan to understand what are the things that we are supposed to draw in a building plan. Now, so here we have a building plan. So this is the ground floor plan of the building. And at this side, we have some technical details mentioned. What is the size of the plot? What is the size of the building, etc. are mentioned. The directions are mentioned. Signature spaces for engineers and client is also there. But our main focus is here. Other things will follow. So if this is a building plan, what are the things we are supposed to provide in the plan? First of all, there will be a plot, and in that plot, we have to plan our building or structure. According to some rules and regulations, those we do not need now. We will learn about those rules and regulations later. Now, the plan. What are the things that are supposed to be in the plan? So, first thing, there has to be these column positions mentioned properly and correctly. Because what we will do when we will go out there in the field, in that plot of land where we are supposed to do the construction, we will start with the column position, because we will start with foundation work, obviously. Okay, we are supposed to construct a building. There is an empty plot of land. What do? We start with excavation, obviously. We excavate the location where there will be the columns and foundation. So the first construction is foundation. Over that there will be column. So to do that, we have to know the exact location of the column. So here the columns are to be mentioned properly. So these are the column in this plan, right? The distances between column to the next column is also to be mentioned properly. Here the distances are mentioned. The unit is here feet and inches. So as engineers, we have to be ready with both dimensions or unit system. We should be capable of handling meters, centimeters, and also feet and inches. So here in this plan, we have to correctly show the location of the column. All the column positions are to be shown. The walls are to be shown. The staircase is to be properly shown. And also the direction. Here we see some arrow signs. What those arrow signs means? Those arrow signs are there to show the possible movement of people. So people will come in this way and they will go up in this direction. That is what is mentioned in this drawing. It is necessary to mention these arrow signs. And also we have to understand that this is the staircase. Okay, then the corridor is mentioned. Then in this room, the door position is to be mentioned. The window locations are to be mentioned. All the details, the doors, the windows, the beams, the columns, every detail are to be shown. And some of the basic furniture items are also to be shown. So in this room, what are the possible locations of furniture? Here we have some furniture, here we have some furniture, here we have some furniture. So those things are to be mentioned. Okay. Now this is a kitchen. So what is this? A kitchen unit. So those things are to be shown. Okay, this is the proper location of the kitchen unit for that room that we have planned. This is the toilet. Those kind of things are to be there in our plan. Okay. So remember, these dimensions are very, very important. They have to be very, very accurate, because if there are some mistakes in this dimension, we as an engineer, as a site engineer, when we are at this site, we will be referring to this diagram. We will start our excavation. We will start, okay, putting materials, binding the reinforcements, the rod, okay, according to these distances. So if there are any mistake in this diagram, our construction will be wrong, okay, that will be detrimental. So we have to be very careful in preparing this drawing. Now this is the second floor of that same structure. Now here also we are given with this plan and some technical details at the site. So those things are to be there. That is a standard procedure. Then if we go into the diagram, so this is almost similar. So all those things that were there in the ground floor are also to be properly mentioned here also. Okay. The location of the staircase, the direction of movement, the landing, the doors, windows, every detail are to be mentioned properly with proper dimension. Okay. This location of the column, okay, what is the distance from this column? So all those details are to be properly mentioned. Then we see here in this drawing, what are these things? So this is your wall, this is your window, W is written here, and W is also written here, but at one location it is written as W1, at one location it is written as W2. So what are those? What are those? So W1 means it is a window of a particular size. If there are another W1 in the same building, so that means this window and this window is of same size. Okay, here also we have one W1. So they are of the same size. And here we are mentioned W2, 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 W2. W2. Okay, so that means these windows where W2 is written, they are of the same size. Generally, W1 is larger than W2, which will be a smaller size. And then we were also having W3. If we see here, then W3 is mentioned here, W3 is mentioned here, W3 is mentioned here. So they are the smallest window in the building, and W3 is of same size. So we have categorized for our help, so that we are not mentioning at every window location that this window is of this size, this window is of this size. Okay, we have categorized W1, W2, W3 like this. W1 is of one size, W2 is of another size, W3 is of another size. Similarly, in case of door also, what we have, in case of door also, in case of door also, we are mentioned with D1, D1, then another D1. So all these are D1s. Okay. Then at some other location, what we are mentioned with, we are mentioned with D2, D2. So what does it means? That D1 is of one size and D2 is of another size. Those we have to mention separately. So this is for our help. So that we do not have to mention this in every location. So this is how we have to go. Then here all these furnitures are mentioned, the location, the possible or most suitable location of the furnitures and items are mentioned that are to be shown, because according to that we have planned our building, according to that we have provided our doors and windows. Okay, and also the direction is to be provided here. Okay, it is in this direction. Okay, this is north direction. Okay, those things are to be provided because these works are done by different people. One person will do this drawing, prepare the plan and map and design. Then another person will be at the site. He is the site engineer. He or she will execute the site work. Okay, he or she will look after the work that are being done at the site, where the excavations is being done, where the columns are to be constructed. Okay, what will be the distance between the column to the next column post. So for that person will be referring to this document. Therefore, this data has to be complete and this data has to be accurate. Now, this is elevation. In the plan, we have to mention that this is section AA, this is section BB, and in that section, if we look horizontally in that section, what will be the view that we have to mention. Suppose this was our plan. For example, this was our plan. We will say that this is section BB, for example. This is section BB, and we are looking in this direction. So if we look in this direction, what will be our view? Okay, in this elevation. So that we have to show in the elevation view. Again, same thing, we have to show all the dimensions properly, all the details. What are the heights of these stories? What is the thickness here? What is the height of different stories? From one story to one story, this is 10 feet here. So all those things, how these windows will be, how many panels are there, what is the width of this window, what is the height, what is the type of ventilators that we are going to provide, the location of the columns, all those things will come in this elevation. There we are showing what is the plinth level. Okay, so this is our plinth level. Here we have the first floor, not the first floor, I'm sorry. Here we have the beginning of the floor, that is the ground floor. Okay, then this is our ground level. Okay, so all these details are to be provided. What is the depth below the ground level? This is foundation level. So all those details are to be provided in the elevation. So a certain type of data will come in the plan, and not every data can be shown in the plan, obviously, right? These things, what is this height, what is the height of this small parapet we have here? So those things are to be mentioned in the elevation. So those things cannot be shown in the plan, obviously. So the plan and the elevation, they have to be combined to provide a complete data. Now this is another elevation in another section. Here also similarly the data are to be shown properly, because why we need two sections? We may ask why we need two sections, because things can be different. At one particular section we are looking at certain things, at another section we are looking at some other type of thing. Okay, so that can be different. In the earlier section we were showing what is the level of ground, what is the level of plinth, we were knowing, but we did not know the steps. Okay, we could not show the steps in that location, but here in this section we can show the steps, the type of step, the type of railings that we will have in the balconies. Those things can be shown in this section. So that is, we have to plan. Okay, as engineers we have to plan what is the sections that we need to show for the complete understanding of the project by the people who will execute the project, by the people who will be there at this site, who will look after the construction work step by step. So they will have to understand every detail. So in that way, we shall have to prepare our document. So these are the basic things that we have to do. So all these combines, we will have our AutoCAD drawings for a particular building or a particular structure. And then with that data, we will go on for the next step. What is the next step? We have to do the analysis. We have to design the beams and columns that we will learn later. And then the entire thing, the project document will be prepared. And based on that project document, we will start our construction activities.